So my stock rising, I mean, this isn't a surprise. Jade Cargill, absolute superstar. Like Friday solidified for me who she is. The entrance, her ability to talk, her presence in the ring. You now throw her into a situation at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair and Naomi. That's a prime fit. It's perfect. She will be protected. They can do a lot of the work. She can come in and hit her big spots, and ultimately she's going to come out of WrestleMania looking like an absolute star. One of our first memories of Jade Cargill is going to be that big Philadelphia stage and whatever production they put on for her to come out to the ring. I think kind of in talking about this, you guys remember the IWC like a couple years ago or even last year when they tried to argue about this parity between WWE's women division and AEW's women division? Like, I don't hear that shit anymore. Like, you can only put Toni Storm in the ring so many times before we start to catch on to the gimmick that you don't have enough people to solidify a division. You can only tell us that like a certain person is going to save the division so many times. First it was Saraya, then it was Toni Storm's new character. Now it's Mercedes Moné. Bullshit. You let the person go, Jade Cargill, that could have been the foundation of that division. So chalk this up to another swing and a miss for Tony Khan and another big win for Triple H. 100 out of 100 times, I'm making the trade Jade Cargill for Mercedes Moné. Proved it on Friday. That's why her stock's rising to me. What you got, Mike?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go with Candice LeRae. I think the heel turn that she's taking right now is needed because there's not a lot of heel talents on the women's side right now on both brands, honestly. It's going to be interesting the way that they kind of direct her, though, because I don't think that she's going to be a great heel on Raw, considering that Rhea Ripley is that champion. That's just not believable, right? If you put her on SmackDown and it's Bayley or Io, I can kind of be persuaded with that kind of matchup, right? So it's going to be interesting to see where they place her or what they do with her. I know right now I think the angle is probably going to be her turning on Indy possibly. But yeah, I think my stock rising this week is going to go to Candice LeRae. I'd
like to see Indy turn with her. I'd like for her to find, because Indy can be her muscle. She can give her that. If Candice is the brains and Indy is the muscle, then they can give Rhea Ripley a little bit of a problem if there's a 2-on-1 situation. So I like that choice. All right. So on the flip side for me, I'm going to continue with my trait of basically shitting on AEW. Biggest stock fall for me is Mercedes Moné. I'm going to look, you had your 1 week where everybody came out and cheered for you, but tell me, how does it feel now that there's 300 people in the building? Like, how does it feel that you're the CEO of 300 people? It's not what you thought it was going to be. You thought that realistically everybody was going to show up every week to see you, but here's the problem, right? The AEW mantra is come out, make a debut in your home city. It looks like you're going to be a big deal. Then the next couple weeks, you're kind of forgotten. You just fade back into the background. There's a realistic possibility to me that she burns all her goodwill in AEW with fans because it already sounds like a lot of the wrestlers don't like her. And so if the fans start to turn on her, there's a possibility that she thinks she's coming back to WWE at some point, but that bridge may burn, and this may be her final resting place as a professional wrestler. This Mercedes Moné reminds me a little bit of the Caitlin Clark situation with the big three. There's this opportunity to grab a bag. You have this opportunity, but in grabbing that bag, you are going to damage your legacy. If Caitlin Clark goes and takes the $5 million to play in the big three, which is prison basketball, they're going to beat her up. It's going to take a little bit of the mystique away from Caitlin Clark. Same with Mercedes Moné. You take this big bag, which is good for you, but now you have to wrestle in AEW every week, and you have to wrestle Toni Storm and these people over and over. Whereas if she just would have taken the comparable deal from WWE, I think that Naomi spot was her spot. I think that's where she was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Bianca, Jade, and Mercedes Moné in that match against Damage Control, which I know it's just part of a team, but it feels like a bigger deal heading into WrestleMania XL versus being just another girl on the roster in AEW. I hope, for her sake, I hope that contract she got with Tony Khan was guaranteed and all up front, because there's a big possibility, guys, there is no AEW in 2025. And so none of that exists. And then all of these wrestlers are they're all going to be looking for employment. And WWE's roster is filling up fast, as far as I'm concerned. All right, Mike, who's falling in your stock market?
Right, let me get this ready here. Is this thing on? All right,
yes, sir.
I'm gonna get nice to the camera here. Ladies and gentlemen of the IWC, we have a repeat offender. Liv Morgan stock is falling yet again. I repeat, Liv Morgan's stock has fallen yet again. She is nowhere to be found. I don't want to hear nothing about her anymore. I don't want any of you crybabies to come on X and start talking about her accolades and what she means to the business and all this and that. If she meant something, she's on the WrestleMania 40 card. Jade Cargill came in at the Royal Rumble WrestleMania. That should tell you enough right there, right? I'm tired of the narrative that she needs to get pushed. She got to push. She had a title run with the SmackDown Women's title, did absolutely nothing with it, nothing memorable about it. Her stock is falling. I think she needs a refresh or something. I guess maybe she can meet Rhea at SummerSlam or, Backlash. I don't know. But that's a consolation prize at this point. You're supposed to be on the biggest WrestleMania card of all time. You're not there. That's my stock falling.
My problem is, too, it looks like they flirted with the idea of involving her.
Yeah.
That they kind of were testing the water to see how, and I think ultimately when it came down, they go, nope, like it the way it is. We'll put her, like, same with Nia Jax. Like, you have this run all the way up until WrestleMania, and then there is no spot for you.
Yeah.